Good day, everyone. Welcome to BST African Electronic Surgery. It's a Saturday, so on a weekend we have this laptop. This is coming from another computer shop. Yeah, like 60 to 70% of the jobs which I'm fixing, it's like already someone has already tried to do something there. So this laptop is a Lenovo Ideapad s145 dash 15 IWL. That's the model of this Lenovo. So yeah, the laptop came in as no power. Let me adjust the webcam. That's better. So we have to fix this quickly. It's quite hot here. Very high temperatures outside. And I spent the whole day drinking water. Yeah, that's Zimbabwe. Very high temperatures. So we don't have the charger. So I'll plug in this head to the power supply and we'll try to pay attention to the power supply because this is working with the 20 volts 3.45 amps. This model of Lenovo. This is a Lenovo i5 processor, 8th generation. The laptop looks better. So let me plug in the power supply. 19 volts, 19, 20 volts is okay for Lenovo. And we need the 3.45 amps. 3.45 amps. 3.43 nearly, minus and plus, and it's taking like 10 milliamps, 20 milliamps, which is not a good sign because this is some kind of laptop with the inbuilt battery, so must have like over 1 amp to charge the battery. So something is not right here. Okay, fine. Can you try to power on the laptop? The switch is on the keyboard here. Pressing the power on. The current is not changing. It just is stuck at 10 milliamps, 20 milliamps, and the laptop is not turning on. So I believe we have to get inside and see what's going on here. We really need to get inside and try to find out what is the problem, why this laptop is not turning on. Screws. All the screws are missing. So they bring the laptop with no screws. Okay. How do I open this Lenovo? I believe the back cover is supposed to come out. Nice. The board has got too much dust. Too much dust inside. Now looks better. Now looks better. So the back cover is out, and that's the inside of the laptop. We have a nice motherboard. Uh, that's the RAM DDR4, 4 gig DDR4 RAM, battery, SSD, 128 gig. Okay. Another empty place for the HDD hard drive. An i5 processor with the Intel graphic chip and the PCH, I believe. So, and Lenovo IT8586E, that's the microcontroller, E.C chip. Here we have the charging port, and next to the charging port, we have two Mosfets connected in serial mode, which I believe they are channel N. And after the MOSFET, we do have the current sensor. So, where can we start? Where can we start? The switch is on the keyboard. Let's connect the charger and check some voltages there. Let's connect the charger, which is connected to the power supply, and see if this board has got power or not. And then we'll start there. That's the point where I want to start. So the charger is plugged. What I want to check, let's go opposite today. Let's start checking the 3.3 volts power supply, going backwards. Can we do that? So, in order for laptop to turn on, we must have a 3.3, and the power on button is on the keyboard. So here we do have the keyboard connector. On one of those pins, we must have 3.3 there. So I'm checking straight on the pins of the keyboard one by one. 0.4, 0.3, 0. So for sure, the 3.3 volts is not on for the reasons which you don't know. We have the Lenovo EC chip and the BIOS chip. On pin number 8, we must have 3.3 there. 3.3 volts is not on. Let's check coils. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So the 3.3 volts is absent. Okay. The next step, this is an internal battery. What kind of voltage do you have on the battery? The power supply to charge the battery is 0. On the plus terminal of the battery is 0. Okay. So On the ceramic capacitors, 0, 0. So that explains why we don't have 3.3, because the 19 volts power rail is absent. We have the charging power supply in the BQ chip. We must have a V in, 5.69, 19.8, that's the V in. And if I do remember well, this is BQ 24780. Pin number 6, that's the AC adapter detection input pin. And we must have a above 0.6 volts. Let's check. 2.78. So our BQ chip is good. All right, fine. On the plus of the charging port, 19. On the current sensor, after the two MOSFETs, 0. So one of these MOSFETs is cutting down the power. The first MOSFET, 19 input, output, 0. And on the gate of the MOSFET, we have 0. We must have above 20 volts there on the gate. So the first MOSFET is cutting down the power for the reasons which you don't know. Let's check on a microscope together. So let's go on a microscope and check few things there. Let's see what's going on here. We do have this motherboard. So let's just cross check the motherboard. That's the motherboard. Here we do have those DC. We have the charging port. Okay, 1 second. We have this charging port. That's the charging port. And the power is coming in. We have this big MOSFET. And the second MOSFET here, a smaller one. And after that, is going straight to this current sensor, current resistor. Okay. And otherwise, the body looks clean. Everything looks clean. That's the BQ chip, which we checked. And next to the BQ chip, we have the Lenovo, that's the startup chip. Okay. Otherwise, everything looks fine. So the problem is why this MOSFET is not passing 19 volts. That is my major problem. Why this MOSFET is not driving the 19 volts from drain to source. On drain, we have 19, but on source, it's like 0. 20 volts. You can see on the screen. On the source, we have 0. If I'm to check on the gate, that's the gate of the MOSFET, we have 0. Okay. On the BQ chip, where's my BQ chip? Here. That's the BQ chip. Good. That is the BQ chip. So on the BQ chip, we must have the V in voltage around 18 volts, and the AC detect voltage. So V in 19, you can see 19.86, and pin number 6, which has got this capacitor, it's like a 2.78. So the BQ chip looks good. Our problem is not from here, this side. Let's unplug the charger. Let's go back a little bit to those input MOSFETs and check for short. Because there must be a reason why this MOSFET is not driving 19 volts. Let's check for the first MOSFET, drain to source. It's not short. What about the second one? There must be a reason why that is happening. Here's a little bit trick, because probably my probes, they are too big to touch the pins of the MOSFET. So I have to find a way to touch those pins. I have to find a way to touch those pins. Or let's take down this small MOSFET and check it out. That's the only way we can do it. Let's take down that MOSFET quickly. (780B). This is a channel N MOSFET. Okay, I forgot to unplug the battery. Oh, but the battery has got 0 volts. That's another problem. But the immediate problem that we have is that we don't have 19 volts on the board. I've disconnected the battery. Let's check down this MOSFET. The MOSFET is out. Our MOSFET is out. That's the MOSFET. Let's check down this. Let's test this MOSFET. Is this MOSFET shorted or not? Check 0 0 0 0. So now you understand why the first MOSFET is cutting down the power, because the second MOSFET is shorted. So let's look for replacement quickly. We need a replacement quickly. I'll look for replacement from another board quickly. So that's the thing about the input circuit. Let's put our new MOSFET. Our MOSFET is now in place. Simple. Very simple. Let's cool down the MOSFET. Let's cool down this MOSFET. So do we now have 19 volt, 20 volts on all the power supplies? That is a very good question. So what I would do, I'll plug back the battery and try to check if now we now have voltage on the body. Let's plug in the charger. Charger plugged. Check here. You can see the charging light. Maybe you can see. But here, we do have the charging light. Let's just check on the current sensor. Do we now have 19 volts? 20 volts. On the end of the power supplies, we have two main power supplies there. So I think we're going to be able to check here. Those are ceramic capacitors. Check on the screen, 20 volts. On the controller, those are the pins of the controller. We must have 3.3. Somewhere 3.29. So I think we are now ready to test the board. We are now ready to test the board. Let's see. Let's see now. So now we now have light. That's a good indication. You can see the light. That's the charging light. So we have to see if we now have a working laptop or not. What do you think? Is this laptop now working or not? On. That's indicating. It's indicating. Even on the power on light here. Wait. Lenovo. We have picture. It's working. I can't believe it's loading Windows. I can't believe it's working. So you understand? So there are so many ways to kill a cat. Some, it's working 5. We have a nice Mercedes Benz on the wallpaper. That's classic. It's working fine. So now you understand? There are so many ways to kill a cat. Some they start to kill from the head, some from the bottom. I said, you know what? Let's eliminate the main 19 volts input circuit and try from the power on button and going to the motherboard, because for sure the power on button we must have a 3.3 even if the laptop is off. The laptop is working fine. So what can we say? Just have a nice weekend and we'll try to fix many things in the future. That was just a shorted second Mosfet. And you know what? Those Mosfets, they are switches. If anything happens and if anything goes wrong, they will cut down the power. Otherwise, the job is done. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. See you on the next one. Bye.